Hi, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I just wanted to do a quick follow up about the One Big Beautiful Bill, Social Security. Somebody asked me to let them know what it ended up with, and the campaign promise was no take taxes off of Social Security payments, that are going out to, mostly older people. And I think that once they started examining that, they realized they'd have to change. I don't know, it's complicated basically. So that did not happen. But what they added instead is a deduction. And I mentioned yesterday in the Big Beautiful Bill video that the House passed a $4,000 deduction for seniors, and the Senate changed that to $6,000 deduction. And I wasn't sure what you really needed to qualify for the $6,000, but I know now. So here's what you need to qualify to get the $6,000. You need to be 65 plus. Now, if you are married, it could be you or your spouse is 65 plus. You don't have to both be. So 65 plus, you or spouse. Uh-oh. Not gonna have room. Let's start over. Are these blank? Okay. They're blank on both sides. Hold on. Okay. 65 plus, so you or spouse. All right, that's the first thing. And then you need to have what's called a modified adjusted gross income. Modified adjusted gross income. MAGI, a MAGI, of less than or equal to $75,000 per year. Or if you are married, for you and your spouse together, $150,000. So as long as you have equal to or less than 75 or 150 for you and your spouse, then you and you're 65 plus, you're getting good. You're good to qualify. And what you will get is a deduction on your taxes. Oh my goodness. Of $6,000 for an individual, or $12,000 for a married couple. Now, this deduction will take place during the tax year 2025. So you'll need to know this fairly soon, through, guess what, 2028, because that is a presidential election year. They like to have things come up so they can use that as a political tool. Okay, so that is what you need. So you may say, but what counts under a modified adjusted gross income? Well, first of all, modified adjusted gross income. All right, if you have any job where you have a wage, or you get tips, or a salary, that would count. If you get Social Security benefits, which you kind of assume you would since you're worrying about the no tax thing. If you have any high yield savings accounts or any interest, that counts towards your adjusted gross income. Any dividends, or capital gains, dividends. If you have a pension, that would count. Pension income. If you take, and at a certain point you are required to take withdrawals from your 401k or any IRA, not any IRA, but a traditional IRA, any withdrawals, those will count towards your income. So all these things together make up your modified adjusted gross income. There are some other smaller things that I didn't remember, but you can obviously look it up when you do your taxes. But this is what most people would have. And so you need to be below 75,000 or 150. Now, things that don't count, and why I like a Roth IRA, not included, okay, are withdrawals from a Roth IRA. And the reason for that is when you put money into a Roth IRA, you're paying the taxes first, and then you put the money into the Roth. And then even if that money makes money, you've already paid taxes. While a traditional IRA, you don't pay taxes on the money that you contribute. You get out of that end of it, but you pay the taxes when the money comes out of it. So that's why it's counted in your modified adjusted gross income. But a Roth isn't. The only thing with a Roth is you have to have had it in that account for at least 5 years. So if you're thinking about the future, you might want to think on that. And you have to be at least 59 and a half to make withdrawals beyond what you originally put in. You can always take out what you originally put in. I'm a big fan of the Roth IRA. Just so you know. We'll talk about that sometime. If you were to get life insurance payments, like any proceeds from life insurance, that won't count against you. And if you get an inheritance or a gift, that will not count as part of your adjusted sorry, I have to think. That will not count against you for this 75. And then there are a few other things that like there's foreign gifts and things like that, but not many people have that, I don't think. Okay, so I just wanted to touch back with that. So, if you are a senior who is collecting Social Security benefits, they did not do the no tax thing, but as long as you make 75 or less or 150 or less as a married couple, then you could get a deduction off your taxes of $6,000 to $12,000. And here's what you need to do that. So that's it, guys. That's the deal. So we'll just go over it really quickly. And I'm no expert. I'm not an accountant or anything like that. I just was reading about it because I know my brother-in-law was interested, and I think he'll still qualify. So modified adjusted gross income includes wages, tips, salary, pension income, if you're lucky enough to get a pension, Social Security benefits, so those are the payments you're getting from Social Security, dividends, interest, and 401k and IRA withdrawals. So if you withdraw money, then you will have to put that on as part of your modified adjusted gross income. And then not included is not included are Roth IRA withdrawals, life insurance proceeds, and gift and inheritance. Those will not be included. So it seems like it should be fairly simple to sort. You have to be 65 or over, or your spouse, one of you has to be. And this is only for the tax years 2025 through 2028 for now. It's not a permanent. So there you go. All right, guys, I just wanted to fill that in because somebody had asked, like, what is it going to take? Well, this is what it's going to take. So you can kind of do the math in your head a little bit. And if you aren't yet to retirement age and you think this might stand long term, you might, what I was thinking is putting more money into a Roth. Wouldn't that make sense? I think so, because I have 11 years before I'm 65, but if I keep sneaking more money, not sneaking, you can only do so much per year. It's not like illegal, but putting more money into the Roth, then that won't count against the modified adjusted gross income. I think that might be smart, but you have to have it in here at least 5 years before you can withdraw it without a tax penalty. Is it 5 or 5.5? I think it's 5 years.